presented in the Mandukya Upanishad. See that Upanishad? So it says the moment the sensory organs resolve, then it becomes the imaginary or dream state. So when I'm imagining, right now, if I'm imagining, the sensory organs are still there, right? So it's still not the waking state. That's the condition.
I think at this stage, you should just do the Om, point out all the different parts.
But that Om is actually an invention, it's not in the Shastra. The whole idea of the drawing of the Om, right? It doesn't exist. The modern Indian.
At which stage?
I think it comes like in the medieval stage or even recent. It doesn't exist. Because we never had a script for sound.
That's true.
Yes, right? It's always sound.
From this.
It's something a modern.
But if you have to guess, what would you say?
Probably last 100 years. Yeah, it's very recent.
Maybe the Sanskrit, the Tamil, both.
Yeah, both. Yeah, it's something very recent. We don't have such. But it's not that it's not valuable. It's valuable, but just that it's not there in our such a presentation. Or rather, I would say yet to be discussed.
So can I just follow up on that?
Yes, please.
So when you are liberated, or you think you are liberated,
Yes.
You don't distinguish between dharma and adharma.
Yes. No. That means at the core identity, I use the word core identity, the anchor. I don't have such value anymore. But when I interact with the world, dharma, adharma still influence the way I live. So this is something beautiful. There is a text called Naishkarmisiti. Not important to remember. It is Shankara's disciple called Sureshwara. So Sureshwara makes a very important point. Listen to this point. Right? Again, a very good question. Because if you're liberated, then you can do adharma also, right? Because you're beyond dharma, that's the argument, right? So Sureshwara, which is a disciple of Shankara, will see the very nice point. You see, when we look at this, right? Correct. So now you see, you have observed dharma as a preparation before you got here. Correct. So after you go through the whole process and you're liberated, what you're likely to be doing?
Karmic.
Because the preparation was dharma, correct? So after you get liberated, the chances of you doing dharma is very, very high. If adharma happens, if unfortunately some form of adharma happens, or the liberated person does something that is so-called wrong, it's because of his karma, part of the karma that brought his life. So, but that's exceptional, not the norm. So there can be like, there and here some wrong actions, but predominantly the person will only engage in dharma, because without dharma, the person will not have come. That's how it's.
That's because you're coming from the ground realm.
Yes.
But once you are in the Brahmanic state, then there's no distinction between the two.
It knows, but the tendency, right? Because the tendency, because you are relating with the world, so the tendency is naturally towards that. So there's no voluntary action anymore. It's involuntary, but it's done.
There's no action, especially in the state.
That's why the text is called Naishkarmisiti. Naishkarmisiti, the word comes in Bhagavad Gita. Naishkarmya means without action, but you're acting. You're performing action, but there is no action. They call it non-doer. No? There is no karta, there is no doer anymore. But it's just what I call a natural response to the world. Even now, can you predict your next thought? Can you? So how can you own your thought even? How can you say that you are the one who had that thought? Natural. So for the Mukta, 24/7 is like that. Everything is natural, spontaneous response.
Here, since there's no action, there's no done, no done.
Yeah, the ways there is no good, no bad, no right, no wrong. There is only one thing, which is awareness, consciousness, Brahman. That's it. That's only. After these words are also not important. If you hold on to the word, that also becomes binding. Correct?
Last question.
I think similar to what you mentioned. I read your book, so I'm not sure. So, assume that I practice all this work and reach the stage of a liberated person, but I'm still living in this world.
Yeah.
So, how is it going to change? What is it going to be for my? Unless because I have become a sannyasi or something, right? How is it going to relate the liberated state versus the daily reality?
Okay. Very good question. But just so that you know, even a sannyasini can be bound. Don't make the mistake that a sannyasi are liberated. Sannyasis are basically change your lifestyle to seek the same thing that you and I are seeking. The only thing is they're 24/7 seeking, you seek maybe 1 hour a day. That's the only difference. Okay, that's the only difference between a sannyasi and a normal person. Not common man. Because the sannyasi is not a common. Okay, so coming back to the question, what changes, right? What changed? You see,
Can you rephrase the question?
maybe you can ask her to say anything. Maybe you summarize what you just said.
What I want to ask, like, I know that you have mentioned about the practical approach for people like us. Like, I think that all of this practice, this understand it, and really reach all the coding and come to the, achieve Brahman. Once we achieve Brahman, right, but we are still living in this world where every action has some consequences. Yeah, we can do the right or wrong. No, how is it going to change? How can we stand alone and look at the world and
Okay, very good. So basically, what is the practical benefit of liberation?
not just for benefit, whether you will change, whether what is the stage
Okay,
which
okay.
you continue to run.
Okay.
I mean, until death, then
So-
faith.
So to understand the value for that, to appreciate that final state, we need to understand what is the current state and its defects, correct? Sure. That means, if the current state is okay, why is it liberation? In the first place, why do you need to go through these 40 painful steps for what? I could go to Beta Market, eat some nice thali, enjoy. Why should I think about this? So who thinks about this in the first place?
Suffering.
Who thinks about food?
Agree.
When you are. So the first precondition, I only look for freedom when I experience dukkha, suffering. I feel the present is not good enough. When the present is not good enough, I become aware that the present state is not giving me what I want, or is not giving me happiness. Right? So if it's not giving me happiness, what do I do now? I want now happiness. That's when this takes into motion. That means I have this very deep, pervasive sorrow, this deep, pervasive dissatisfaction with life, and I find that there is no other way to get out of it. There's no other way. That's when you become eligible to even pursue moksha according to our Shastra. That means if you're satisfied right now, you came to the wrong class. That's what it means, because now you're miserable after coming for the class. I think Anu and people all people know, I repeat this again and again. A lot of time people who come to my Vedanta class, I think sometimes in the wrong class. Because someone told you that, you know what, this class, you don't talk about happiness, and then you come, you become unhappy. Sorry?
Like, rather than just because you have a suffering, I like your term of underlying dissatisfaction. That totally is very good. But you can look at life with gratitude and still be a seeker to achieve the
Okay, very good. What are you grateful for?
Like,
Give me one example. Don't give me a real example because you can do too much about yourself. Give me a realistic example.
grateful for the life granted to me.
What part of it? The part of the deep state? Or the part where you can interact with the world?
Level.
First level. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Clearly, this is what the implementation. If you are having gratitude and you look for gratitude to solve this problem, now you are dependent, now your gratitude depends on someone or something. If Anu did not give me what I wanted, I would be grateful to her. Right? If he did not give me, he offered me something, my mother took care of me, a single mother, I'm very grateful to her. Now my freedom depends on my mother. So what does that mean? So one of the, I'm not discussing what you're saying, it's an inquiry that you're making, right? So it's not personal. Right? So what does this mean? That means my freedom now depends on someone else or something. So the whole purpose of liberation is my freedom does not depend on anyone or anything for that.
I just want to clarify.
Sure.
Okay, sorry. As I see you have to bring an unpleasant job of going from the timeless to time bound. So the first state, okay? Because we are just running out of time. Kathir will be here, he'll be signing books. So maybe you'll come to the end of the queue, then you can have a clarification. But you know,
Can I see the slide with the change list?
yeah, that was later, the laptop was later, so it's not going anywhere. First of all, please a big round of applause for. So we had a real life experience of Shravanam, Mananan, Nidhyasana, at least myself as an MC, right? You all heard the knowledge. It took a good 15 seconds for the questions to start, but once the questions started over, we can't stop it now. And that's usually the case, right? With that, I hope you all had a fantastic session. And I can see your eyes, everyone's eyes were lit up. I think you all had Kali before coming here, so that's why the eyes were lit up. That's the power of knowledge. We would like to invite Dr. Prasad to present a small token of appreciation on behalf of King Center.